What's up, everybody? Welcome back. I'm Mac from MacTheMovieGuy.com, and to make this video more interesting, I just turned my camera sideways, so hopefully this works out. Uh, yeah, I felt like I've been doing a lot of reviews in the exact same outfit as a lot of movies in the same day, so today is yet another review. This time it's of Windfall, another Netflix original film. And just as a reminder, for anybody new to my channel, I'm a blind film critic, which is why I'm not staring directly into the camera, and also why I'm using my phone, because it's a good point of reference for me. I know where my hand is. I can feel that. So it doesn't mean much for you. I'm still going to be talking about plot and characters in Windfall, but I wouldn't be talking about visual effects. How pretty this big house is, I guess. And I will be talking about a thing called audio description. So if you know next to nothing about audio description, maybe you'll learn something today. So let's get right into it. So Windfall, what is it about? Windfall is about a stranger, played by Jason Segel, who has, at the beginning of the film, he is at a residence. He is the only one at the residence, and he is enjoying life, and the film opens with him there, and you quickly come, I guess, sort of spoilery, but it really is the plot of the film that matters, not this part, that he does not live there. He has broken in, and he is living his best life in this giant mansion, and it's time for him to hit the road, so he's grabbing all of, the money and goodies that he wants before he leaves. However, the owners of the home return at the most inopportune time. If they were just like 30 minutes later, this movie would not have happened. But because this movie needed to happen, they arrive home while he is still gathering the goods to leave. And of course, they run into him, and he ends up holding them hostage and trying to figure out a way out of this situation, because you get a feeling that he's not really necessarily a violent type, and not somebody who was expecting this confrontation. So the owner of this is a CEO who is worth billions of dollars, played by Jesse Plemons, and his wife, who is not Emily in Paris, but it is the actress Lily Collins. I think it would be funny if this was an Emily in Paris spinoff and she temporarily married the CEO of the company. So if you want to pretend like it is in your head, go for it. So there's only 4 people in the entire film, and those are 3 of them. So, there you go. So that's basically the cast, and this is a 1 location movie, so they spend the entire time at this house. This is it's very inspired by Hitchcock. I was seeing some comments on Windfall from some people who were deriding it because they didn't think it was that great, and it didn't live up to the Hitchcockian vibe it was trying to sell. Does anybody ever really live up to the Hitchcockian vibe? If we're being really honest, does anybody? When you put like anything made within the last 30 years, how many films really stand up to Psycho? Especially when you think about Psycho back in the day, and what it stood for, and what it meant, and what ground it broke. What film, what is Hitchcocky enough to take on Psycho? Nothing. So it has a really actually amazing score that is very reminiscent of films like North by Northwest and Vertigo. The score in this film is fantastic. I don't know how this year's going to play out, but I hope at the end of the year, when they're thinking about nominating scores, that somebody at least goes, "Hey, did anyone remember the score to Windfall?" I hope it's at least in some sort of conversation, because it's the first score that's actually leapt out at me this year where I'm like, this score is neat and makes the movie better. So good job. Good job on the original score. The script, maybe the reason why it doesn't quite work for everybody is because it has 4 credited writers, and usually the more hands a script touches, the less good it is. It kind of ends up going through some rewrites and touch ups, and the original intent can be muddled and lost along the way. And this film has 4 credited screenwriters who did not write this room together in one film, in one room. And yeah, it's good. I don't know that it's. I'm not running out and recommending Windfall. I'm not like. I mean, I am. I'm gonna give this like a slight recommend, but I wouldn't say rush out and see this. I'm not sure that this film added anything new to this genre. I didn't actually feel like it did anything where I was like, oh, cool. I think it's well made. I think when you come into a film, any film, and certain things end up being the best thing about it. Like if you see a film and you come out of a film and you go, oh man, the best thing about this film was the score, or oh man, the best thing about this film was the visual effects, or the best thing about this film was costume design. I mean, that's great to say for those crafts, but it says a lot about the actual film itself, the plot and the characters and the acting. And for me, I think that's the answer to my question of how did I feel about the film. It's not that I thought that the acting was bad. I actually liked Jason Segel, J.C. Plemons, and Lily Collins here. Arguably, they have more to do than some of their more recent projects. This is definitely not a role that Jason Segel would normally do. It's not a comedy for him. He plays this role pretty straight, so that was nice to see him do. I didn't like Power of the Dog, and I didn't think Jesse Plemons did much in Power of the Dog. Here, he actually has stuff to do, and he has a character, a fully rounded character that shapes itself as the movie progresses. He's probably the most interesting character in the film, and he has the most to do that way as an actor. Like, if I was acting, the role I would be most excited about would be his role. So this is, in many ways, a stronger character for him than what he had in Power of the Dog, where everybody just accepted the fact that he should also be included in the conversation, I guess, because he was the 4th lead and he got an Oscar nomination. But I think this is a stronger role for him. And Lily Collins, I mean, Emily in Paris doesn't really give her material to work with. So the fact that she's here doing something dramatic at all is, obviously a step in the right direction for her career-wise. So the acting's fine. It's just that the story just doesn't feel... There isn't... By the internet deciding to throw Hitchcockian at this, it feels very... Why? Because the score was reminiscent of North by Northwest? Because I don't think the plot is necessarily Hitchcockian enough. Yeah, there's a twist at the end, I guess, but it's not really that earth-shattering. I mean, I didn't walk away going, whoa, So I don't really understand the love for comparing this film to Alfred Hitchcock. It's unnecessary, and I think it puts the expectation and the bar too high for this film. It's a fine film. I just don't think it brings anything new to this sort of home invasion genre. I think there are stronger films. One that comes to mind would be Knock Knock, starring Keanu Reeves. I thought that was far more creative and inventive than Windfall. Windfall also... for some reason felt long, even though it runs just over 90 minutes, which is... It's because of the limited characters and the limited location. I mean, maybe be more cognizant of that. And you don't have to break 90 minutes to feel like a real film. You can come in at like 88 or 82 or something like that, and tighten up the movie a little bit. Yeah, it's all right. It's not my favorite film of the year, but it's okay. As far as the audio description goes, I thought the audio description here was solid. There were some really nice moments where it was describing sort of the scenery around, and using sort of a lot of, adjectives to describe what it was that we were looking at, to really let us know how beautiful this house was, the details within the house. And I guess in the way that you would if as a blind person we were touring a house and somebody really wanted to let us know what the walls looked like and what the style of the home is. There was a lot of attention to detail just in the description of the location, which was good. The characters don't move around much, and they are pretty much always in the same scene, so you don't have to worry too much about entrances and exits. There are a couple scenes where maybe it matters, and they do the audio description does a good job of following that around, but mostly what I really appreciated was the attention to detail with regards to the location, because it is a one location movie. So it's very important that we, I guess, fully understand where it is that we are, and what this place looks like and how beautiful it is, and just get the scope of how rich this guy is and all of that stuff. So good job on that. Yeah, that's pretty much, that's Windfall. It's an okay film. There's nothing too exciting here to talk about except the score. The performances were okay. The script is the script is what it is for a script that is touched 4 different hands. The direction is okay. I would not rush out and see this. I don't think we need to immediately compare every single film to Hitchcock. I think it's a knee-jerk reaction to anything that is remotely mysterious, or I guess uses a score reminiscent of those films. So I think that does this film a disservice, because I don't think it's trying to be a Hitchcock film. Maybe an episode of Alfred Hitchcock Presents, but it doesn't stand up against Vertigo or North by Northwest or any of those films. But then again, what does? That's why Hitchcock is who he is, because his films are that great. So stop comparing everything to Hitchcock. Anyway, I'm going to give Windfall a C+. Yeah. So my biggest takeaway from Windfall is that the score is the strongest aspect, and I'll remember the score at the end of the year. I don't know that I'll remember the rest of this. I'm not sure I'll remember this film in 5 or 10 years, or what happened. Maybe I'll remember the ending. I don't know. It's all right. I give this a soft recommend, a slight thumbs up, if you will. So, Windfall. It's now on Netflix if you want to watch it. Yeah, there are some other things too. And if you have seen it, let me know what you think in the comments. As always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And check out MacTheMovieGuy.com for more reviews. And also, don't forget to head over to the Audio Description Project to plan out your movie night, where you can check out and see a list of what films are audio described and where they are. And you can even go by service. So you can see what films are on Netflix and plan out your movie night that way, and get to see something maybe other than Windfall, or plan a double movie night, Windfall and something like Windfall. So that's it. Make sure to lock your doors if you're a rich billionaire, and I will see you next time.